Hey guys, it's Jovi and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. How are y'all all doing today? I hope y'all are having an amazing Monday. I know I am. I'm about to go work out my day. Oh my gosh. Before we begin, please don't forget to like this video. Okay, like it now because we already know you're going to forget to like it later. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my other social media platforms. I'm Jovi Beauty. I'm Jovi Beauty on all platforms. Please follow, please subscribe. Don't forget to go over to my website, jovibeauty.com, and get you one of our dope ass pieces of merch. Okay. Last but not least, don't forget, y'all can always do what? Y'all already know. Donate to the channel. It is thoroughly appreciated. Okay. All right. How is everyone doing today? She said, am I really in this a replay? This is not a replay. We're right here. I'm a little late, but we here though. We here though. Listen, I hope y'all, like I said, I hope y'all are all having a fantastic freaking day. Now, I want to get a little bit into this Ashanti and Nelly topic that I see floating around the internet. And I don't know, I'm a little, whatever, but I want to get into it a little bit. Okay. I guess they have a show. Okay. I seen little clips. I've not watched the show, but from what I hear, I don't know. People who have seen the entire show says, Nelly is helpful. They edited whatever. I don't really care. Ashanti and Nelly were together like what 20 years ago at this point. They got back together. Now they have a baby. They're going on two. Okay. I don't believe that Ashanti and Nelly don't have a nanny. Okay. I don't know. I also want to say that if Ashanti like it, I love it. I'm not mad at Ashanti for being um because she knew who she was marrying, right? I got an article and I want to pull an article up. Well, I'm not going to pull it up. I'm going to read it to y'all. I got it from BuzzFeed, okay? BuzzFeed, when was this article written? Okay, it says Nelly shamelessly asks his wife, Ashanti, if people really get up in the night when their babies cry. And as he admitted, he's doing nothing until their son can walk and talk, okay? This is not normal. Men should not get away with doing the bare minimum, one viewer wrote of Nelly, who recently admitted that he's on cruise control when it comes to parenting and is essentially living vicariously through Ashanti. Last August, the artist Nelly and Ashanti welcomed the baby boy. We don't care. His name doesn't matter. While the baby is Ashanti's first child, Nelly shares two other children with his ex-girlfriend. Okay. He also raised and adopted his niece and nephew, okay, after his sister passed away from leukemia in 2005. For some additional context, Nelly is 50, Ashanti is 45. They quietly got married at the end of 2023. Of course, the couple previously dated back in the early 2000s and rekindled things romantically roughly 7 years after breaking up. During a recent appearance on the Today Show, Nelly revealed that that ahead of having a baby with Ashanti, he warned her that he didn't want to be chasing toddlers at 50. Listen, I don't want to be chasing toddlers at 50. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Okay, he said with a laugh. Listen, I told her before we had this baby, I said, now listen, I'm here, but chasing a toddler at 50, as many as you want, but as many nannies as we can afford. Listen, I need a nanny or two. I need a couple nannies. Okay. Let me pull it. Because I could hardly read it. It says Nelly also recently admitted that he is currently on cruise control when it comes to parenting. And it says, we read that part. Living vicariously through Ashanti, who handles the infant son. Okay, she knows I'm here. She knows she has support, he said, and adding that he'll gladly provide whatever she needs. But now a clip from the couple's new reality series, Nelly and Ashanti, We Belong Together. That's the name of the reality series. Okay, hold on. I think it's cute. I like the name. Hold on, give me 1 second. I just, I always got to do some silly stuff throughout the. Hold on. Um. Hold on. Sorry. Give me. Okay. Save. Okay. All right. Back to it. Where we at? Okay. Has sparked backlash after several viewers were left shocked at Nelly casually admitting that he's got nothing for their baby until he can walk and talk. Okay, listen, can we be honest? This is most men. Okay, this is most men. Things began with Ashanti noting that the wife and mommy's side of her was upset with Nelly for going on tour, given that she'd be spending more time parenting their infant son alone. It's just with the baby, it's a lot, she said. Listen, having a baby is a lot, okay? They are a lot. In response, Nelly told her, well, listen, it's all you. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't got nothing for him. Ashanti replied, absolutely not. I know. In another scene, Nelly told a group of his friends, until he can say, I'm hungry, until he can say, I need to use the bathroom, it's going to be a lot in your lap. As soon as he gets to walking and talking, he with the crew. Ashanti later called Nelly out for sleeping through their baby's cries at night. I'm trying to understand, how is it that you sleep through when he starts crying, she said. I be trying to understand that with men too. Nelly replied, do y'all really be up at night? I heard about it, prompting Ashanti to give some side eye and say, you know what? It's absolutely ridiculous that you'll still be dead sleep and he'll be mad loud. Like, how do you sleep through that? I don't know. I don't even hear y'all, man, Nelly said, describing his ability to sleep through the night as a gift. Ashanti replied, no, that means get up. It's your turn to change him. Aren't they on baby number? Anyway, Nelly then said, "Baby, I'll give you the world. I just ain't changing no diapers." In response, a fed up looking Ashanti rolled her eyes before FaceTiming their nanny to check on their little one. Something that seemingly annoyed Nelly, who asked, "Why you don't ever sound that excited when I call?" Uh-oh. Reacting to the awkward clip online, one person wrote, him asking, do y'all really be up at night would have got me my own season of Snap. Because what? Another said, this is not normal. Men should not, well, this is normal. Can we stop pretending like majority of these men do not engage with their children even when they start walking and talking? They do not engage with their children. It's sad as hell, but they rather put it on other people. They don't really raise their children, and that's why a lot of them end up in a lot of the positions that they end up in. They end up in old crusty nursing homes. Their children don't speak to them. This is extremely fucking normal, okay, especially for their age bracket. Let's be for real. I am Ashanti's age. This is extremely normal for, and how a lot of us were raised to just, take care of the children because these men ain't gonna do it. Now, thank God, the younger generation are expecting more, as they should. And so I guess it's making Nelly look extra crazy. Okay. I'm gonna finish this before I say what I gotta say. Before I finish saying what I gotta say. Someone said this is not normal. Men should not get away with doing the bare minimum. He treats her like she should be glad he gave her a child. This is why I keep telling y'all that y'all want babies, y'all need to go to the sperm bank. It said waited all this time to have a baby by a man who ain't trying to split the responsibilities. You cannot make this shit up, someone said. So she's a married single mother. We already know that term. LOL, got it. Another person wrote, while one more user echoed, Ashanti is a single married mom, and I'm sorry for that for her. Another person firmly wrote, real men change diapers, while one more described Nelly's remark as downright embarrassing. In 2025, this shit should be downright embarrassing. But the reality is that a lot of these men are stuck in their ways, and a lot of them end up, divorced because of it. Okay. I don't know what's going on with them. If she likes it, like I said, I love it. I did see some points where her mom was speaking about the whole inauguration thing. She seemed very disappointed that he spoke at the inauguration. Ashanti's grandfather, I believe, was in the civil rights movement. He did a lot of things in like Glen Cove, Long Island, when he came, when he was back in the day. So I saw a clip, I think it was on Bree's channel. Shout out to Couture Bay, where the mother, Ashanti's mother, was talking about how disappointed and Ashanti they were in him performing at the inauguration. And his response was, I respect the office. It ain't got nothing to do with Trump. Listen, listen. I ain't saying for her to leave. She like it. Like I said, I love it. This is, how they say the longer you, and you know what's so crazy? People been saying that Ashanti been on vacation for 20 fucking years, okay? She been on vacation, and you know what they say? As soon as you get a husband, you just gotta work like a fucking dog. Listen. As soon as she got this husband, he is out here doing the most. And the reality is that like we're human beings, and we don't expect anybody to be perfect. Ain't nobody is, she can't expect this man to be perfect. It is what it is. But I also think like she kind of knew what she was getting into, and she was okay with it at the beginning, right? But the reality of having to get up at night while this motherfucker is laying next to you just sleeping away, the reality of that is problematic, right? The reality of you've worked 20 fucking years and you built yourself, and you come from a great lineage, right? A great Black American lineage of, being in the civil rights movement and all of this. And then your new husband goes and perform at Trump's inauguration. Has to be fucking embarrassing, okay? I'm not saying it's divorce worthy. I'm just saying it has to be fucking embarrassing. I'm just saying she has to be aware and willing to. And sometimes, honestly, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Sometimes that's, how they say the longer you single, the more you don't give a shit, and the longer you are not willing to just deal with whatever. I feel like Ashanti wanted a baby so bad, and I get it. And I get it. That maternal clock be ticking. I've had my moments. Well, I'm acting like I ain't got a kid. I do have a kid. But y'all know I've had my moments. A couple years ago, I was thinking that, I might want another one. No, the fuck I don't, because they are hard fucking work. Because the reality is they are human fucking beings, and mine getting on my nerves right now. Right fucking now, she's getting on my fucking nerves. I can't wait for her to fucking leave on Wednesday. Okay, like I always say, I don't know if I told y'all, but I told my friends, at least once a week, we are allowed to say, fuck them kids. That's where I'm at right now. Fuck them kids. Having kids is hard fucking work. They are human beings. They're not mini us's. They have their own fucking thoughts and their own whatever, and they get on your fucking nerves, okay? But Ashanti right now is in the little cute phase, and she's with her husband who she thought it would have been a great idea. I always say you can never get back with your ex because y'all broke up for a reason. Regardless of whatever, I don't ever see it really working out too well with people who try to get back with their exes. It's always going to be some foolishness. But I feel like Ashanti should have just, or could have, and like I said, I understand because we are in the age range where we grew up with First come love, first then come marriage, then come your ass with a baby carriage. Now people are willing to say, you know what, I don't want to get married, I don't even want to have a dude, I'll go to the sperm bank if need be. Okay, so I comprehend the thought process, because again, I grew up with a lot of people with that thought process. It's an order, and sometimes you just got to deal with a lot of these niggas being garbage, because the reality is that a lot of them are I'm not saying that Nelly is garbage, I'm saying that Nelly does some garbage ass shit sometimes. And if I was Ashanti, I would be like I would be focusing on my baby, because he does garbage shit. And that comment about when she called the nanny and he looked annoyed, talking about, you aren't that happy when you talk to me FaceTime, is men being jealous of their babies. I don't know what it is. I don't know what is in their DNA that makes them do that. I have no fucking clue. But we'll see how this shit go. I'm probably gonna go watch this. See, what is it on Netflix? Is it on Hulu? One of them weird channels. I'm gonna see if I watch this show. And but you know what? I also understand that regardless of whatever, they're trying to create a show, blow it up. Let's not pretend like Tiny and Ti and them and all Love and Hip Hops or whatever. Ashanti don't want to be performing forever. I went and watched Ashanti not even 6 months ago. She was here in Brooklyn at Barclay. Um, it was a decent performance. I'm trying to remember. It was a lot of people performing that day. It was like Silk in them. It was like a early 2000, late 90s kind of performance. If I remember correctly, it wasn't like the worst performance ever, but like I recall me and my friends saying she probably got that baby in the back. She looked tired. Like, it's a lot of work. So if they trying to make, noise so their show can pop, I'm not mad at them, because she if she wants to, she needs to go sit her ass down. She shouldn't have to continue to work the way she's working, right? But we have Irv Gotti to thank for that. But she is married to Nelly, and apparently Nelly got a lot of money, and at this point, she just need to hire as much help as possible. You need to know who you are with and who you're married to, right? He telling you he ain't shit, and the reality is he probably ain't gonna be too much shit when the baby start walking and talking anyway. So you probably need to just go ahead and, like you said, hire your nannies and have nannies working for you 24/7, since he can't fucking help. Okay, because it's a lot of work, and you already we already started. You already got married to him. You already did all of this shit. And again, if she want to go, she could go. But I doubt that she's gonna do that. She's gonna try to hold this shit down. But I do really think that she's thinking like, oh, now I know why I broke up with him. Now I remember why I broke up with him, because this is who the fuck he is, and it is what it is. Like I said, the whole lot of them needs to be rehabilitated, but we can't fix these men. All we can do is worry about fixing each other. And and honestly, if we being honest, a lot of these men are a lot worse than fucking Nelly. That's not an excuse. That's not saying, oh, well, there's a lot men where there's a man worse than him, so just deal with it. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying I feel like she kind of knew what she was in for, probably except for the whole inauguration thing. But you know how they say things start to compile. And I think the whole inauguration thing, if it was me or like a lot of people, would be like a smack in the face. Just like it would be like a smack in the face. It's like saying, it's low key saying I'm a black MAGA, but I don't want to say it. And we recognize that all of these MAGA people, all of these MAGA men are being left because ain't nobody really want to deal with all that foolishness. And his response gives MAGA. Oh, I'm not helping. They just want to pump you full of babies, but not actually raise any of these babies, because they're men. Child, get somebody else to do it. I don't want to be bothered. Please get the likes up. Please and thank you. Like Bree said. She said he had a queen and treated her like she was regular degular. Yeah. Let me jump into these comments. Before I begin these comments, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow me on my other social media platforms. I'm Jovi Beauty. I'm Jovi Beauty on all platforms. Please follow. Please subscribe. And again, y'all already know you can always do what? Donate to the channel. It's thoroughly appreciated. Who is texting me? Oh. All right. I gotta and I ain't gonna hold you. That's why I'm not having babies at 50. I recognize that I don't want to be running behind no fucking baby. I'm trying to get the 16-year-old out of here. I don't need no 1-year-old, 2-year-old. Oh no, that's gonna kill me, child. Operates in this manner. This is old school. The men would make the woman leave the baby in the crib at night to cry it out. That's why he's confused. Yeah. We don't do that shit no more. You actively have to be there to parent your child. Because again, a lot of women don't want to deal with that shit no more. They don't want to deal. I don't think a lot of these women even wanted to stay and let the kid cry it out. It was just a lot of selfish men wanting you because you wouldn't, in my opinion, you weren't jumping for them. So they were mad that you were jumping for your crying baby. But that doesn't take away from, yes, this is normal for the generation we come from. A lot of men behave like this, okay? And I'm going to say, I don't want to be running behind no motherfucking infant my damn self. She says she watched it and it was good. Okay, because I heard that when you watch the whole season that he is not such a douchey partner. Okay, so I'm just hoping, because again, everyone is not gonna do everything perfectly the way you want them to. They're just not. They're just not. Good to see you, Lucille. Stephanie said he seems like a user, a little detached from her. He seems fake. I think Nelly got a lot of money. Nelly owns some shit, including I think like a hospital or some shit. I don't know. But Nelly has a lot of money. So I don't know if he's using her because, again, she still has to come out and perform because, remember, Irv Gotti took control of everything. Nelly literally, if I remember, he screwed over the Lunatics. It was Nelly and the Lunatics, right? I don't remember. But he's not poor, right? Nelly ain't poor. So maybe a little detached, maybe jealous of the baby, like a lot of these men are, for whatever reason. I don't know what's in the male DNA. They want to be babied, and he thought she was gonna baby him forever, and be giggling and laughing with him, and she's giggling and laughing with the child, and he just don't like it. It's like they feel like they in competition with their sons, their daughters, whatever. She said, Deshaun said, I feel like this should have been discussed before they had the first baby. Oh, honey, I didn't realize that. She said Nelly has another baby right before he rekindled it with Ashanti. At this point, I'm really, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to drop the link in case anybody wanted to come up. That's what I forgot to do. I think Ashanti knew what she was she knew what she was getting into. But again, the reality of the child, the reality of having to wake up numerous times a night, the reality of that, being a parent, being a mother, changes a lot of things. Okay. And again, this is why the birth rate is in hell, because women seem to understand that and men don't seem to want to change because they get over, like he could sleep through the night, baby crying and all. They don't give a fuck, which leads me to really question, because they need to eat like 3-4 times a night. So if we saying that men would force their children to starve throughout the night because they didn't want to feel, they didn't want their wives to get up and tend to the baby, is wild crazy. That's why a lot of these niggas are in trash ass nursing homes, if you ask me. Stephanie said, I had to do everything when I had my daughter, but I loved motherhood. And I would argue that my daughter's father, argue with my daughter's father for not being proactive. Yeah, they just, I don't know. It's real sad. Lucille said Ashanti was a pick me Isha when she got back with Nelly. I knew this was coming. I'm not gonna say it. Oh, he did? I didn't know he borrowed $100,000 from Ashanti. I know I done seen things on like Nelly's house in, where they from? Memphis? Where he from? Memphis? He got like one of the most biggest house. I think they sold it to like a museum. It was some weird shit. They sold it to like the museum. He got like one of the most expensive houses in Memphis. That's where he from, right? I think Memphis. So I don't know, but I would think, because again, he owns the rights to himself and the lunatics, if it's the lunatics. Ashanti doesn't. Irv Gotti family has it. So I don't know. I would say he is childish and foolish, and she should have let him stroll right past her at that verses. I knew she was gonna go down messing with him. Mm. Again, I tell y'all all the time, if you want a baby so bad, and I get it, that is what the sperm bank is for. Don't let people tell you otherwise, especially if you're going to be struggling. If you're going to be the one having to get up and take care of the baby anyway, you're going to have to be arguing with this man because, you care, you call a nanny, you want to check up on your kid. If it got to be all of that, just go to the sperm bank, girl. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. She ain't want to have a baby at 40 and not be married. In 2025, fuck that. I get it. Because again, I grew up in that generation. I grew up in that generation and thinking it was a flex because I was the first one around me to get married and all of this shit. Hindsight 2020. Hindsight 20 fucking 20. Unlike my vision. It was not the flex that you think it is. But like I said, that's why I keep saying I get it, because we're the same age, and that is just the thought process. That's how we were indoctrinated into this bullshit. Thank God for the younger generation that are like, no, get somebody else to do it, because it's a struggle. It's a struggle, and people put that shit on us. She dead ass could have had. Look at Ebony Williams. Ebony Williams tried to find her somebody. It didn't work out, and she decided to go to the sperm bank. F these people. If you're gonna have to be struggling and taking care of your baby anyway, I would rather not have to argue with some man because he won't get up. That's less stress on you. Because now you've made that decision to be the parent that get up in the middle of the night and not resenting the person next to you. Because he don't even stir when a baby crying. Or feeling like you can't be cuckooing to your baby or whatever because he might get jealous. I don't want to go through that. A lot of these young girls don't want to go through that, and I ain't mad at them, but I do that's why I keep saying I understand, because we're from the same generation, and you got to get married, but like it's on Peacock. All right, I'm gonna watch it on Peacock, but like what the fuck? She could have had the baby on her own. She could have had the baby on her own. Yeah, she was performing pregnant. She was yeah, she was pregnant because he was pregnant with a second baby. And me and my friends was thinking that girl looked tired. She trying to catch up with the dancers. You know, they doing all the shit. And she was tired because me and my friends was like, she probably got the baby in the back. Baby just left her hip before she came out on stage. That's a lot of work. I don't want to do that. Not at 44. Not at fucking 44. She said now she remembers why she left that. Oh, Honey said, I think he left Ashanti. She was bringing up marriage after 10 years and he wouldn't budge. Oh, he left her. Then ain't no way. A nigga left me and I'm getting back with, oh, I would be mad as hell. So wait, are y'all trying to say he left her? And then they got back because he was like, oh, I want to see you again. And now they have a baby. And now she might be questioning, like, why did I really do this shit? Yeah, I wanted a baby, but there are other ways to go around it. It's called IVF. It's called sperm bank. It's called anything but this foolishness. She said, at 42 years old, I learned to spin the block. I ain't spinning no block. Not for real. You could you know, be cool or whatever, you know, playing around. But like to get married to a dude, to like date him for real, to like put in effort into someone you already put in effort to have a relationship with, no thank you. That's the point that I can't get. No thank you. Cause like, okay, you could attempt, you could hit it. You can hit it again, but like y'all, you know, don't forget why y'all broke up. Like y'all we ain't spinning the block, bruh, and it's better this time. No. Yes, please share the live. Thank you, Bree. She said, listen, if I get pregnant, I'm not working again. Right at our big grown ages. No way. No way. Absolutely. But I do also understand maybe she doesn't feel as secure. Nelly is a little flaky. He is Scorpio man. I'm a Scorpio. These men is weird. Okay. So maybe she feels like she still got to put it out to make sure that if anything, she and her baby will be okay. Y'all, she said her grandbaby was over last weekend and she was exhausted. Yeah, I don't want to. I keep thinking, right, Bree? And appreciate it. I keep thinking, because again, a couple years ago, I was thinking about it, like, oh, and I was actually attempting to try and all this foolishness. But like the reality of having to raise and run after a fucking baby all over again at my big grown age, child, I be tired. I'm about to go work out when we leave here, and I'm gonna probably need a fucking 20-minute nap after I do that. I don't want to be chasing no damn baby. Nicole said, I think this is the first time he's really in the house with the baby and the mom, and he really doesn't know what's expected of him. And it's coupled with him being rich and detached. That makes sense. He didn't grow up. That makes sense. Because even though he has kids before, even his sister kids, they were older. Like they were like, I don't know, they were like 8 or something like that. They were at least old enough to say something. And the other women, he would never marry. He was never married with them. So they probably didn't live together. He was probably all over the place. Like he probably really fully doesn't grasp the commitment of what marriage is supposed to be. Again, a lot of these men don't. So it's not really shocking. St. Louis. Okay, St. Louis. I thought it was Memphis. Nonetheless, I saw one of them, you know, I saw a couple videos where Nelly's properties and the money he had was spoken about. And it wasn't like hip hop people videos. It was, I think one of his houses is abandoned. He still owned it. It was like abandoned mansions or something like that sort of video. And he was on there. And I was like, well, he wasn't on there. the house was on there, and I was like, he got a big ass house. And then they were talking about him eventually selling a house like 2-3 years ago or something like that. um She said, yes, it is. She said, yes, it is. I'm sick currently, and my mom took them from me today because I couldn't handle being sick and taking care of them. Child, taking care of babies are exhausting. I'm sorry that you're sick. Sick and babies? Oh, no, I can't do it. Especially at my age. Mm-mm, mm-mm. She said, I think they're honestly a cute couple, but I feel Nelly is behaving the way he acts has to be overwhelming. You can see the stress all over Ashanti's face. She's laughing to keep her from crying. It's the kind of man that's gonna say he was blindsided. It's all right. It's all right. As you get older, maturity should come in. Yeah, but honestly, that really works for women. We don't see that too much for men. Like they be out here 60, 70, and 80 and still not fucking mature. Don't let them have money. Because having money, especially at a young age, a lot of them don't feel like they have to mature. They don't understand. Right? I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and they were talking about how like academic or whatever, like literally sitting up in your house, you got money, so you are allowed to be ignorant, immature, not grow up. um and I think it's kind of the same thing. I think, yeah, it sounds fun. He's fun, he's whatever, but like maturity, I don't think so for a lot of them, let alone and double or triple, maybe even quadruple that if they have money or in a celebrity status like Nelly, because they are still getting by. See, maturity comes from growth through experiences, right? He's still being able to get over a lot of the things normal people might grow through, or are from experiences and learning lessons. But like a lot of them don't really have to deal with those sort of things, especially if they don't want to. It's sad, but this is what they asked for. I'm more, honestly, more than the baby and him not doing anything, which is annoying but also normal. I would be more concerned with the fact that my husband might be MAGA, because that don't look like a good win. Any, whether you rich or poor, that kind of seems problematic. Um, yeah, he's out there and she's private as hell. Uh, oh, he's a gambler. Okay, so yeah, maturity, I see not. She said there are men who pay big money for a woman to treat them exactly like a baby. There most of be something in the male DNA. I don't know. Might be in the DNA, might be in the upbringing. I don't know. Might be in the way society treats them. They're men and they're this and they're that. But we make a lot of excuses for their dumbass behavior. Like, you say, oh, they're men, they're the head of the household, all of this weird shit. But a lot of the times, and y'all know it's true, they're not the head of the households. A lot of the times they don't pull through. Like you said, can't even get up at least once a night to go help with the baby. They don't pull through. Like they're allowed to be men, and they run the home, you know without actually doing anything. A nigga could be a whole bum, like don't work, don't provide, don't nothing, and you're like, people act like he's such a man. The people around him, the men around him, family members will act like, will call him a man. Oh, he's just so great, but he doesn't actually give anything that is subscribed to manhood, right? Or what you would think, or being a decent fucking partner. That's why half of them be getting blindsided, and they don't understand how they're in these situations. It's 2025. She said he is a functioning addict. Oh. Oh, you're newly divorced. Congratulations. I've been divorced for a while. It gets better with time. It gets better with time. Trust and believe. Anyway, that was my P's and Q's about the whole Ashanti and Nelly situation. I'm gonna go head out and go try to put in this little workout before it starts getting too hot here in New York. I'll see y'all tomorrow live, but I might additionally drop some more videos later. We got to see what's happening. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of weird shit happening. So I'm looking out and seeing, but nonetheless, I appreciate y'all for coming. And as always, don't forget to live your life like it's golden, because there's no other way to